Have you ever walked past something old, something worn out, and wondered, could this still have life left in it? Today, we're standing inside a peaceful orchard, where discarded fire hoses, once used to save homes and protect lives, now cradle herbs and flowers beneath trees heavy with fruit. This is the kind of idea that reminds us, beauty doesn't always come from buying something new. Sometimes, it grows from giving forgotten things a second purpose. Welcome to Backyard Fortune, a place where ordinary objects find extraordinary stories. Inside this video, you'll find chapters and timestamps, so explore at your own pace. Ask questions. Try your own version at home. Let nature and imagination guide you. And before we begin, a quiet truth. Maybe to you, I'm just another creator on a screen. But behind this video is a real dream, and a real family doing this with heart. Every subscriber doesn't just support content, it keeps this dream alive. Thank you for being here, for watching, and for helping hope grow. Now, let's build something beautiful. One emerald bottle orchard border. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine walking through a peaceful orchard bathed in soft golden sunlight. The air smells of ripe apples and freshly turned soil. Bees hum lazily among the flowers, and butterflies dance through the warmth of the afternoon. Beneath the trees, something sparkles quietly, a handmade garden border crafted from rows of old glass bottles. Each bottle, once forgotten, now finds a second life. Turned upside down, pressed gently into the soil, they form a shimmering line that glows in shades of emerald green, amber brown, and deep ocean blue. As sunlight moves through them, it paints the ground in jewel-like reflections, transforming what was once waste into something quietly magical. This is more than decoration, it's a small act of transformation. You don't need fancy tools or expensive materials, only patience, creativity, and a few bottles collected over time. Rinse them clean, remove the labels, and bury them halfway into the soil with the bottoms facing up. Vary the colors to create a natural rhythm. Soon, you'll have a border that not only defines your path but catches the light like a living piece of art. Between each curve of glass, plant marigolds, parsley, or thyme. The flowers invite butterflies, the herbs fill the air with fragrance. And when morning dew gathers on the bottle rims, it glistens like drops of magic, a reward for anyone who pauses long enough to notice. The beauty of this idea is how real and achievable it is. Every household has glass bottles waiting for a new purpose, old soda bottles, wine bottles, even jars. What matters most is not perfection, but intention, reimagining what others might throw away and giving it meaning again. If you try this at home, experiment with different shapes and sizes. Use transparent bottles for a clean look, or painted ones for a rustic touch. For safety, wear gloves when handling glass, and press each bottle firmly into moist soil so it stands steady through the seasons. Over time, grass will grow between them, flowers will bloom around them, and you'll realize something beautiful. Your garden isn't just a place to grow plants, it's a story of renewal. A reminder that sustainability doesn't always require big gestures. Sometimes, it's as simple as saving a bottle and turning it toward the sun. So the next time you hold an empty bottle, don't throw it away. Look at it closely. It might just become the sparkle in your own garden, a quiet proof that creativity, care, and light can grow from the simplest things. Two, painted tire citrus garden edge. Some ideas don't begin in workshops or hardware stores. They begin in moments of quiet observation, maybe when you notice an old tire leaning against a wall, forgotten and covered in dust. Most people see waste, but a few see a curve, a color, a rhythm waiting to return to life. Here, in this radiant citrus orchard, those curves have found their song again. Each half-buried tire, painted in soft tones of mint, cream, and terracotta, arches gently from the soil like a wave frozen in time. Together, they form a cheerful garden border that seems to smile under the morning light. Between the arcs, rosemary stretches tall and fragrant, basil leaves shimmer with dew, and marigolds burn bright in gold and orange, colors that echo the ripened oranges above. The air hums with bees, the cobblestone path feels warm underfoot, and sunlight glows across the rubber, giving it new texture and meaning. What makes this idea so special isn't just its beauty, it's its simplicity. With a few old tires, some outdoor paint, and a little patience, anyone can recreate this at home. Cut each tire in half, paint them in pastel shades that complement your plants, and press them halfway into the soil in a rhythmic pattern. Use low-maintenance herbs or flowering plants between the gaps, and soon you'll have a living border that feels playful yet peaceful. Beyond its charm, this project also has purpose. Repurposing old tires keeps rubber waste out of landfills and gives your garden structure without relying on plastic or concrete. Each piece becomes a small reminder that creativity can be both kind to the earth and kind to the eyes. There's something grounding about this view, rows of citrus trees glowing under soft daylight, their branches heavy with fruit, framed by color and care. It's not the work of machines or factories, but of hands that see value in what others overlook. So if your garden feels a little dull, look around you. Maybe the next border you build is already waiting, in your garage, your neighbor's shed, or by the roadside after the rain. Pick it up, clean it, paint it with hope, and let it stand proud beneath the sun. Sometimes, beauty begins with the courage to look twice at the things the world has stopped seeing. Three, pastel bottle watermelon border. There's something deeply soothing about the sight of sunlight falling across a garden, especially one that tells a story of patience, care, and reinvention. Here, in a countryside field glowing with afternoon warmth, an idea blooms quietly between rows of earth and color. Watermelons crawl low through rich brown soil, their vines reaching toward a border that shimmers with pastel light. These borders aren't made of bricks or steel. They are crafted from old bottles, once forgotten, now painted softly in shades of mint, ivory, and sky blue. Some remain clear, catching the sun like tiny glass lanterns. Together, they form a rhythmic line that glows under the golden light, giving the entire garden a touch of dreamlike calm. Behind the rows, sunflowers rise tall and radiant, guardians of this handmade beauty. Their yellow faces turn gently toward the sun, while bees hum a quiet melody and butterflies weave through the air like brushstrokes of color. Between the bottles, parsley and carrots flourish, their greens swaying in the breeze as if grateful for the care that surrounds them. What makes this idea special is how simple it is to bring to life. Each bottle, whether glass or sturdy plastic, becomes a piece of art when repurposed. You can paint them using leftover acrylics or chalk-based paints. Soft tones work best, as they reflect natural light without overwhelming the plants. Bury them halfway into the soil, keeping their necks upright to form neat little walls. Not only do they define your garden beds, but they also help retain moisture and gently protect roots from wind and pests. This approach turns sustainability into serenity. You're not just recycling, you're designing something that breathes harmony into your garden. Every color you choose changes the mood of the space, Pastel blues make it peaceful, creams make it warm, and clear glass adds sparkle when dew forms at dawn. And as you stand here, with sunlight brushing against your skin and the scent of soil in the air, you realize creativity doesn't always need perfection. It needs intention. It's about seeing beauty where others see waste and building something quietly wonderful from what's already in your hands. If you ever walk into your backyard with nothing but a few bottles and a little imagination, remember this view: the pastel shimmer of recycled glass, the hum of bees, the rustle of green leaves, and the simple truth that every small act of care can make the world bloom just a little brighter. Four, rustic bamboo dragonfruit trellis wall. At the edge of a quiet countryside, where the morning sun paints everything in shades of gold, a gentle rhythm unfolds, bamboo poles standing tall like old guardians of the earth. Between them, vines of dragon fruit climb patiently, their green arms curling skyward as though reaching for the light. The trellis, handmade from recycled bamboo and tied with natural rope, glows warmly in the early light. It doesn't shout for attention, it breathes calm. The kind of calm that only comes from things crafted with care, from materials that once had another purpose but now hold life again. Beneath the rows, marigolds burst in orange and yellow, while clusters of violet sage soften the edges. The air hums with bees, each one weaving from bloom to bloom as the breeze carries the soft scent of herbs. The cobblestone path beneath your feet feels cool and timeless, leading you through a garden that feels alive yet grounded, a place where every detail whispers handmade with love. If you've ever thought of growing dragon fruit, this rustic trellis offers more than just beauty, it's practical and sustainable. Bamboo is strong, lightweight, and breathes naturally with the weather. You can build it yourself, drive the poles into the ground about half a meter deep for stability, tie them securely with natural rope or jute, and connect them with horizontal rods so the vines can climb freely. Unlike metal or plastic, bamboo stays cool under sunlight, protecting your plants from heat stress. The flowers of the dragon fruit bloom in the stillness of dusk, large, creamy white blossoms that open only for one night. When you see them beneath this handmade frame, glowing softly in moonlight, you'll understand why this design feels magical. It's not only about harvests, it's about creating a space that slows time down, where growth feels poetic. Adding flowering borders, like marigolds or purple sage, does more than beautify. It attracts pollinators, repels unwanted pests, and keeps the soil vibrant. Nature, when designed with thought, has its own sense of balance. You can start small. Even a few bamboo poles tied together in your backyard can hold a single dragon fruit plant. Watch how it finds its way upward, winding around the bamboo like a slow dance. Over time, the vines will bear fruit, glowing red or yellow against the pale wood, a living testament that beauty and function can grow side by side. Standing here, surrounded by the hum of bees and the scent of soil, you realize something simple yet profound. Sometimes, the most elegant designs are not made of steel or glass, but of things the earth has already given us, shaped again by human hands, patience, and light. Five, rustic wooden banana garden wall. Sometimes, beauty begins with something simple, a piece of reclaimed wood, a coil of rope, and an idea born from sunlight. Here, in a quiet countryside garden, the day stretches slowly, painting everything in honey and gold. A gentle breeze stirs the wide leaves of the banana trees, their shadows dancing softly over a handmade wooden wall. This wall isn't built from concrete or metal, it's built from patience. Each plank tells a story, its surface carrying the grain of time, tied together with thick rope that holds not just the structure, but also a sense of warmth. The texture of the wood, kissed by afternoon light, makes the garden feel alive, not perfect, but real. Behind it, the banana trees rise proudly, their green leaves whispering in rhythm with the wind. Bunches of yellow fruit hang gracefully, glowing like lanterns between the leaves. Beneath them, the soil breathes, alive with mint, parsley, and the cheerful blooms of marigold. The air feels rich, a blend of sweet fruit, herbal freshness, and the quiet hum of bees. If you look closely, this isn't just a fence, it's a frame for life itself. The beauty of this design lies in its honesty. Anyone can build it. Reclaimed wooden planks can often be found from old pallets or scrap lumber. Sand them lightly, leaving some of the natural marks. Those scars of time are what give rustic charm. Tie each section with strong rope instead of nails or metal brackets. The rope adds both flexibility and soul. It's what turns a wall into something alive. Practicality meets poetry here. The wood helps regulate moisture, keeping the garden bed cool. The rope allows movement when the soil shifts. And the raised border makes maintenance easy, perfect for planting herbs or low-growing flowers. If you live in a warm region, bananas love this kind of design. Their roots stay stable, and their leaves give natural shade to the herbs below. You can even adapt this idea to your own backyard. Replace bananas with small fruit trees or climbing tomatoes. The principle remains the same. Create a garden that breathes with you. Use materials that tell a story. Let the imperfections stay. They are what make it feel handmade, soulful, and human. As evening comes, the golden light turns softer, wrapping the entire scene in peace. Bees return to their hives, butterflies drift slowly away, and the wooden wall glows as if holding the warmth of the day within its grain. This is what real beauty feels like, something that doesn't fade with time but grows deeper with every season. A place where nature and craft meet, where every plank and leaf carries the touch of human care. So next time you find a pile of unused wood, don't see waste, see the beginning of your own countryside dream. Tie it with rope, plant something living beside it, and let it remind you, perfection is overrated, but warmth lasts forever. Six, woven rope mesh peanut fence. There's something timeless about the way the afternoon sun touches the earth, soft, golden, and full of calm. In this quiet peanut garden, that light glides gently across a handmade fence woven not from metal or plastic, but from something far more honest, rope and wood. The fence stands with quiet confidence, simple wooden posts, each one carrying its own pattern of knots and grains. Between them stretches a delicate web of jute rope, woven carefully by hand into a diamond mesh. The texture catches the sunlight, glowing with warmth. It's the kind of beauty that doesn't shout, it whispers. Behind the fence, rows of peanut plants grow low and steady, their leaves fluttering gently like small green wings. Clusters of tiny yellow flowers peek through the soil, marking the promise of harvest beneath. At the base of the fence, marigolds and thyme bloom freely, their colors painting soft borders of orange, gold, and green. Bees hum between the petals. A butterfly lands for a heartbeat before floating off again. Everything feels alive, but nothing feels rushed. What makes this idea so special isn't just how it looks, it's how easily it can be built. Rope and wood have always belonged together. The rope gives flexibility, letting the fence breathe with the wind instead of breaking. The wood gives strength and grounding. You can make it with simple tools, 4 corner posts, horizontal bars, and a long length of jute or hemp rope. Tie the rope tightly in crisscross patterns, knot by knot. It doesn't need to be perfect. In fact, it's the small irregularities that make it beautiful. This kind of fence works wonderfully for vegetable gardens, herb patches, or even small orchards. It marks space without closing it off. The air and sunlight still pass through, keeping plants healthy. And when rain falls, the rope darkens to a rich caramel tone, blending seamlessly with the soil, a reminder that handmade things age gracefully. If you love crafting, you can personalize it. Try using thicker rope for a nautical touch, or finer threads for an elegant, lace-like design. Add herbs or small flowers along the bottom to attract pollinators. Over time, you'll notice how the fence becomes part of the rhythm of your garden, not just a boundary, but a living frame. Building something by hand connects you back to the earth. You start noticing small things, how sunlight changes color across the day, how knots hold under tension, how a simple pattern can feel like art when placed against nature. As the day fades and the last beams of light catch on the rope, the fence glows softly, every fiber golden, every knot a memory of your touch. It stands as a symbol of patience and creativity, proving that sustainability can also be beautiful. In the end, you realize that this isn't just a garden fence, it's a story woven into the land itself, one that invites peace, purpose, and a quiet kind of joy that stays long after the sun goes down. Seven. Clay brick potato field border. Morning arrives softly over the countryside. The air carries that earthy scent of dew and freshly turned soil. From a distance, the potato field glows like a sea of green, each leaf glistening under sunlight, each flower a quiet promise of harvest. Closer to the edge, the eye catches something beautifully human, a garden border built not from polished concrete, but from clay bricks molded by hand. The colors vary gently, terracotta, red, soft brown, like tones of earth itself arranged into quiet harmony. They fit together naturally, each brick a little different, each one holding warmth from the sun. This simple border does more than frame the garden, it grounds it. The bricks help hold soil in place, keeping the field neat and easy to maintain. Between some of the gaps, thyme and marigolds peek through, little bursts of life softening the structure. Their roots strengthen the border, while their scent draws in bees and butterflies. Together, they turn a practical wall into something that feels alive. Birds rest on the top row of bricks, their small feet tapping gently as if testing the craftsmanship. A butterfly lands for a moment, wings glowing in the light. Everything feels still, not empty, but peaceful, as if time itself slows down to admire the work of hands and heart. If you've ever wanted to create a garden edge like this, you don't need perfection. What you need is patience. Old clay bricks can often be found at demolition sites or second-hand material stores. Choose bricks that are roughly the same size, but don't worry about color uniformity. The slight variations will give your garden depth and warmth. When building, keep it low. 1 or 2 bricks high is often enough for a vegetable patch. Arrange them snugly without cement for a rustic look, or add a thin line of natural clay mortar if you prefer something more permanent. To let water drain easily, leave small gaps between a few bricks and plant herbs or flowers there. Marigolds repel pests naturally, thyme adds fragrance, and basil nearby enriches the air with freshness. Over time, the bricks will weather beautifully. Moss might gather in the corners, edges may soften. That's not decay, that's character. The wall will blend more deeply with the soil, until it feels as though it has always been part of the land. In a world of modern materials, it's easy to forget how alive clay can be. It absorbs warmth by day, releases it at night, and keeps the rhythm of the seasons. Working with it connects you back to something primal, the feeling of shaping earth into something useful and kind. As you stand back to admire your work, you'll see how much life gathers around it. Bees dance above the flowers, birds hop along the edge, and beneath the surface, earthworms keep the soil rich and alive. It's a border, yes, but it's also a home, a habitat, and a quiet celebration of nature's patience. So when you next dream of building something in your garden, remember this: not everything beautiful needs to be bought. Sometimes, the most timeless designs are the ones built slowly, from the earth itself, one brick, one breath, one morning light at a time. Eight. Backpack blueberry planter fence. There's a special kind of charm in giving forgotten things a second life. Here, under the soft afternoon light of a European countryside garden, a row of old backpacks hangs gently on a wooden fence. Their fabric, once carried through classrooms, travels, and everyday moments, now holds something entirely new: life. Each bag has been reborn as a planter, filled with rich soil and tiny blueberry bushes that sparkle like blue pearls against green leaves. The air feels warm and still, filled with the hum of bees and the faint sweetness of marigolds blooming below. Butterflies drift lazily between flowers, their wings catching the sun, and for a moment, everything slows. It's an idea so simple yet full of heart, turning what you already have into something alive and useful. If you've ever had an old backpack, torn, faded, or forgotten in a corner, it can become your next garden project. Canvas and denim are surprisingly durable. They breathe just enough for roots to thrive, and their deep pockets make perfect compartments for soil and drainage. To create your own, start by checking the inside of the bag. Line it with a thin layer of burlap or old cloth to keep the soil from spilling while allowing water to escape. Fill it halfway with potting mix and compost. Then, choose compact plants that love sunlight: blueberries, strawberries, or herbs like mint and thyme. You can even mix in flowers for color and scent. Tie or hook the backpack securely onto a wooden fence or railing. If the fabric is soft, support the base with a small plank or shelf. And always make sure the plants can drain. A small hole at the bottom of each bag will do the trick. When the rain falls, the fabric will darken and dry again under the sun, growing more beautiful with age, just like an old memory turned useful. What makes this design magical isn't just the creativity, it's the feeling it gives. These backpacks, once carried by people, now carry life. They hang together in a row, a living wall that tells quiet stories of travel, growth, and transformation. Beneath them, rows of marigolds and thyme create a glowing carpet of orange and green. The cobblestone path beside it curves softly, inviting you to pause and breathe. Even the smallest gardens can have beauty like this, built not from wealth, but from imagination. And that's the lesson here: sustainability doesn't need perfection. It only needs kindness, a touch of patience, and the willingness to look at something old and see its future. By the time evening light turns golden, the blueberries shimmer like tiny lanterns among the leaves. The bags sway gently in the breeze, the scent of herbs rises, and for a brief moment, it feels as though the world itself is smiling. Because when you give something new life, it gives something back: peace, beauty, and a quiet reminder that creativity is, at its heart, an act of hope. Nine. Helmet herb and avocado garden wall. Some gardens whisper stories of adventure, of journeys once taken, of roads that stretched endlessly under the sun. Here, among rows of green avocado trees, that story lives again, told not through motion, but through stillness. Old motorcycle helmets, once protectors of speed and freedom, now rest quietly on wooden posts, reborn as planters brimming with life. The afternoon light paints them in warmth, mint, cream, bronze, and sky blue glint softly beneath the avocado leaves. Each helmet carries its own history, small scratches and faded paint telling tales of years gone by. Yet now, those same shells cradle something new, sprigs of rosemary, trails of ivy, and clusters of golden marigolds glowing like tiny suns. A soft breeze moves through the orchard. The scent of herbs mingles with lavender from below, and the hum of bees feels like a melody for the soul. Butterflies dance lazily in the air, as though nature itself pauses to admire what once was waste, now turned into wonder. It's a reminder that beauty often hides in plain sight. Something as ordinary as an old helmet, forgotten in a garage or left to rust, can become the very heart of a garden wall. The process is as simple as it is poetic. With a few holes drilled at the bottom for drainage, a handful of good soil, and a sturdy post for support, a helmet transforms from a relic of travel into a cradle of life. If you decide to try this at home, don't rush. Choose helmets of varied colors. The gentle mismatch will make your garden look alive and authentic. You can pair herbs like thyme, mint, or basil with small flowers such as marigolds or lavender. The combination doesn't just look beautiful, it creates a natural pest deterrent, a harmony of scent that keeps your plants healthy. And there's something deeply grounding about this idea, taking an object that once sped through noise and chaos, and giving it a role in peace and stillness. Every helmet here now holds something quietly powerful: growth. New roots. A chance for the earth to reclaim what was once artificial. As the sun dips lower, the helmets catch the golden light, reflecting back soft glimmers of the world around them. The shine of avocado leaves, the sway of lavender, the hum of bees. You can almost imagine the stories each one might tell: miles traveled, rain endured, laughter shared. And now, they stand side by side, guardians of green, protectors of peace. This is more than recycling. It's transformation. A moment where human creativity meets nature's grace, where every small act of reuse becomes a quiet declaration of hope. Because sometimes, the most beautiful gardens aren't built with perfection in mind. They are built with heart, with the simple wish to give something, or someone, a second chance to bloom. Fire hose lychee garden border. There is a quiet beauty in the way forgotten things return to the earth when we let them. Here, in the gentle glow of late afternoon, red fire hoses, once curled tightly on emergency trucks, waiting for moments of urgency, now rest softly in the soil of a peaceful orchard. For years they carried water to save lives, to protect homes, to fight heat and chaos. And today, they cradle life instead of fighting fire. The hoses curve gracefully along the base of lychee trees, forming a ribbon-like border that feels both strong and humble. Their faded lettering and worn texture tell stories of long service, of hands that once lifted and dragged them, of nights lit by sirens and sparks. Yet now, filled with earth and tucked into wooden frames, they hold blooms and herbs as tender as morning dew. Mint, thyme, lavender, wild daisies, they rise gently from the hose openings, as though nature herself is breathing through the old fabric. Butterflies settle lightly on petals, bees drift in warm air scented with fruit and summer soil. And overhead, the lychee branches are heavy, ruby clusters glowing like lanterns against green leaves. It is a picture of calm resilience, a reminder that second lives can be even more meaningful than first ones. For those who dream of trying this at home, the method is simpler than it looks. Fire hoses are naturally strong, waterproof, and flexible. When they can no longer serve their original purpose, many departments are happy to see them reused instead of discarded. With a sharp utility knife, you can cut them into sections or keep them whole to create a flowing curve around garden beds. Fill them with good soil, press gently, and anchor with wooden stakes or boards. Choose plants that root well in contained spaces, herbs, flowers, strawberries, or creeping thyme that spills softly over the edge. The hoses hold moisture surprisingly well, especially in sunny climates, making them quietly reliable partners in the garden. If you want a more rustic look, let their original marks remain. Each scratch and faded number adds character, a whisper of their past life. What makes this idea so soothing isn't just the practicality. It is the poetry of transformation. Something once built for urgency now invites stillness. A tool once used to protect life now grows it. In an age where so much is thrown away without thought, ideas like this remind us to look again, to see possibility in the overlooked. And in doing so, we give ourselves a gift too, a garden that feels personal, soulful, and deeply alive. As the evening light stretches long across the orchard, the hoses glow softly, the lychees shine like jewels, and the flowers sway gently in the quiet breeze. Everything feels balanced, human creativity next to nature's generosity. Sometimes, the simplest acts, filling an old hose with soil, planting a seed, are the ones that make a garden feel like home. And perhaps that is the real beauty here, not perfection, but intention. Not waste, but wonder. A reminder that even the most unexpected things can bloom if we give them a chance. Every garden tells a story, and today's story came from something most people would throw away. If an old fire hose can bloom again, maybe we all can too, in our own way, in our own time. If this inspired you, tap subscribe, leave a comment, and share your ideas. Tell me, what everyday object should we turn into beauty next? Your voice keeps this journey alive. Your support helps a small family keep dreaming and creating. Thank you for being part of Backyard Fortune. See you in the next garden magic.